And I'm David. And we are talking about Big Brother. We went to the live eviction. It did not quite go as we thought it would, but we have a lot to talk about.
But first, please click subscribe and join our community. Also, give this video a thumbs up.
Please, and if you want to support us on Patreon, there are links below, up here. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere.
Join us.
So, the show. We need to talk about Wednesday's and then Thursday's live eviction, which we were at. And we got a lot to talk about because this Wednesday episode was amazing.
That's one of the best. Such good editing.
Like, as much as Sunday was, like, not great because there were too many fun segments, literally every segment in this episode mattered game-wise. Like,
and they were also fun.
Yes.
Look, it can happen.
It can happen. You can do it.
Yeah.
So it starts with Christy and Sis are on the block, right? And
Christy's got a plan.
Listen, she knows that she's the target, and she knows she's going to win veto. It's just all about manifesting, you know? She just needs to win that veto and ruin Jackson's plans, and everything's gonna be good. It's just like classic Christy, just being so, like, full of herself. And
yeah, and also, Sis she knows that, like, anyone she sits next to is gonna go home. Right. So, like, it sucks that she's here.
But, like, I played a great social game, and so, you know, I'm safe versus anyone in the house. Sorry, Christy.
Literally never say that.
Wow.
Ever.
Okay.
To any of you who are future house guests.
Yeah, because they will use it against you in that edit.
Just don't do it.
So now Tommy's kind of like playing his own game now, right? Like he's saying in the DR, like, I gotta look out for myself. Like it seems like Christy's maybe gonna go. So he's having a one-on-one with Jackson, and I think Jackson knows that, you know, he has just put up two of Tommy's best friends in the house. And Jackson's like, listen, dude, like, game respects game. Like, I know you got to do what's best for your game. Like, whichever way you need to vote, I totally understand, respect. And Tommy's like, you know, I'm loyal to you. I love you and Holly. Like, I'm with you guys, but like, I just got to figure out what I'm gonna do this week.
And this is what Tommy's been doing for weeks.
Yeah.
This is why Tommy's not on the block.
Hello.
Yes, 6 shooters broke up, but Tommy was like, hey, Jackson, Holly,
wait.
let's do this.
Don't go anywhere.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
And Sis and Christy are on the block, and they're like, why? And he's like, I told you guys. So Tommy's just keeping it up.
Keeping it up. Yes.
I'm Jackson, we're all good, everything is good.
Right. Then attention sort of turns to Nick. And the Nick situation in this episode is kind of split into 2 parts, like on either side of the veto selection ceremony. The first part is just Christy starting to get suspicious. Her and Sis are kind of talking, and they're saying like...
Okay, first off, I'm not phrasing it as Christy gets suspicious.
I'm
going to phrase it as Christy gets paranoid and picks a scapegoat. A scapegoat. A scapegoat. I think a scapegoat is the theme of this season.
You're right.
They love to find someone else to blame.
Yes, right, because Christy is like, it doesn't make sense that I'm on the block. Why isn't Nick on the block, right? And Sis talks to Nick, and she says, like, if you get picked for veto, and I go out, would you throw it to Christy so Christy can win? And Nick is like, no, I'm gunning for it, and I'm going to take you down. Because he's in love with Sis, and
he's a little bit in love with Sis, but also Sis, don't think things like, whoever I'm up against is gonna go.
Yeah, right, yeah, you should gun for the veto for
what
yourself.
He was saying was like, just, like, save yourself.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Turns out maybe Nick was right. But, you know, Christy is just like getting worked up, and she's like, who is Nick working with? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then we go to the veto ceremony pick.
Yes, the pick.
And it's Cliff.
It doesn't go the way that anyone would like. It's Cliff, Nick, and Holly.
Right. So, of course, Christy picks Nick, and her face is just disgusted. Like, she's like...
She can't.
Wow, I had to pick Nick, didn't I?
Like, did I manifest that? Because that is not what I wanted.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Universe. But it's not a great scenario for Christy and Sis, because like Nick and Holly are not necessarily playing the way they want them to play. We had just seen like Holly go into the room, and like they don't talk to her. And Holly's like, they can't even make eye contact with me, and then she's chosen. So it is not a way that anybody really wanted. Right. Then we go back to more questioning of Nick. More questioning of Nick. Why? I just don't know why I keep getting questioned. Right. Why? I've done nothing but transparent. Why everyone's just gonna question me? Right, right. And we see Tommy have a conversation with Nick, and he's like, tell me the truth, like, who are you working with, whatever. And he's sort of saying, like, you know, Christy and Sis are just starting to get a little paranoid. And Nick is like, well, I'll go talk to him right now. And Tommy's like, don't do that. And Nick's like, I'm going right now.
No.
And Nick is just like, I've been loyal. Why do I keep getting questioned? Everyone's trying to burn my game down.
Yeah.
But Christy and Sis aren't buying it. Sis is like, she's like, I'm not saying that I don't trust you, but I don't trust you.
I'm not questioning you. I just have questions.
Right.
Okay, it's not going well for Nick.
It's not.
Let's go to a veto.
Well, the last thing before the veto ceremony was Christy's emotional in the shower.
Oh my God, the shower edit.
This scene.
This was
so
good.
Chef's kiss good. It was. She's crying, she's got the hairnet on, right? She's like, everybody in this house is a liar, I hate this game, whatever. She's like fully in meltdown mode. And she's like, I just miss home and I can't trust anybody when I look at them here. And Tommy very gingerly, quietly, sweetly is like, when you see me, you can see home. What?
He's being like so dramatic. He's
so
like, this
dramatic.
Is the moment. Christy,
yes.
When you look at me, you see home.
What? Like 3 times they go back and forth. I don't know if they added a time in the edit.
No, that really happened.
Oh my God.
No, we saw it. But they made it even better. And then after finally the 3rd time.
She hears it and she's like, I can't even do that. Like she doesn't receive it the way.
Gibberish subtitles. Oh.
So good. The hairnet falls off. Like now her hair is getting It's so good. This episode was great.
Loved it.
So then we go to the veto ceremony. And this one looked like it sort of looks like how can it be that hard?
Yeah.
But the way they were struggling with it and
so
things
hard.
just fall again and again, I would be so frustrated playing this comp.
Yes. I thought it was greased or something. I was like, if you put something on like putting clothes on a hanger, like sometimes they slip, sometimes they grip. It can't slip every single time.
Yeah.
But they did.
They did. Oh my God. And it was even kind of hard for the editors to like piece it together to make it look close. Of course they've tried. It's just falling over and over again. But they did try to make it look like it was down to Mickey and Christy, of course. But ultimately, Jackson wins, and he's got full power like we talked about. He is controlling this week.
Jackson has the veto!
Yes.
Noms are gonna be set, basically. Christy tries a little bit of like, hey, us.
Yes, right. Oh, she goes up and she's like, Jackson and Holly, I literally love you.
Literally.
And like, I'm gonna promise you safety.
Yes.
And Holly breaks down, Christy breaks down. They're sobbing to each other like, I can't believe we're here. We love each other so much. And Jackson is like...
in my head was like, oh no, Jackson's in a room with victim noises. It's Cody. He just was like, what?
Yeah. He's like...
And they were like,
oh my. And he's like... okay. Yeah. Sorry, Christy, you're gonna go. Then he leaves the noms the same.
But yeah, we clipped to his... cut to his DR and he's like, I don't owe you or anything.
Right.
Whatever. Get out of here. Noms stay the same. And we're set with Christy Sis.
And we think,
as we said,
Christy's a goner, right? The way the narrative has gone this episode is Christy is walking out that door.
Well, that's how this narrative went this whole week. I mean, in our last video when we spoiled the veto and that the noms were the same, and we said Christy's got some fight in her, but there's not much that she can do. Like, she's clearly the target.
Yeah.
People know she's a threat. Like, there's just not much you can do. She's gonna go home.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we got to go to the live eviction episode,
we did!
You guys.
We saw it live today!
And when we showed up, they were like, you guys, if you don't watch the feeds, things have been going down.
Yeah.
Okay? Things have changed.
I mean, obviously we knew about the vote flip. We've been watching the feeds.
Yes.
But in the audience, the guy who's like warming us up, he's like, who thinks Christy's going? And like the audience
Most
is
of
like,
people are like, woo, Christy's going.
And he was like, who thinks sis is going? And it's like Jolene, David, and me. And we're like, yeah. And he's like...
Anybody? Like, nobody else watched the feeds?
It was just us. But then he was like, who watches the feeds? And we were like,
And he was like, okay.
That makes sense.
Then you know that crazy stuff's been going down. It's going to be a great show, whatever, whatever.
And it was a good show.
Yes.
So they start the episode with, you know, obviously noms are the same, but now Christy...
She's got a plan.
What's she gonna do?
Right. She's like despondent in bed, of course. She's feeling very defeated because she didn't win the veto. Tommy comes in, he loves her, whatever. They're snuggling, and she's like, I got a plan. I'm gonna blow it up. Nick should be going home. This is insane. Nick is right in the middle. Nick is right here, and he's gonna make Tommy and Cliff shoot at each other. And he's right here, and he's gonna make the so-and-so and so-and-so. And she's right. Like, he is in a position where everybody in the house feels safe, and he's just in the middle and gonna watch people pick each other off. Yeah. So she's like, I'm gonna blow that up. That's my only move.
Look, yes. This is true about Nick. It's also true about Tommy. It's also true about Jackson. It's also been true about most of the season. We know. But of all the people, honestly, Nick is the most sketchy of them all. Most people in the house know that. But again, you have to have a scapegoat when you're in Christy's world. She has to be mad at somebody. I honestly can't imagine being in the Big Brother house and saying to someone, why aren't you on the block? What?
Ask the HOH.
Who are you?
Yes.
To think that I should be on the block? Like, okay.
All right.
She's just blowing things up, and I get it. She is an emotional player. Yeah. But it is also good for her game if she messes up other people's games.
Yeah. That's the only thing she can really do at this point is blow up people's games, because she tried the like emotional plea to Jackson and Holly, the offer of safety. Like, she's run through those options. Now really the only thing she can do is blow things up. Yeah. So
she starts telling people.
She starts with Jackson, right? We see on the episode? Yeah. Well, she tells Tommy, and then she goes to Jackson, and she's like, I'm gonna blow it up. This is all I got left. And Jackson's like, actually, I think it's a good move. You should do it. Because I'm sure Jackson's like, let's have other people battling it out in the house and take attention off of me and take the target off of my back.
For sure. And Jackson has been like so very much after her that he's like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Let's have some fun. Yeah, fireworks. Go for it. Like, totally just baiting her. Yeah. Because she's his target, and like, who cares? Whatever.
And is it him who's like, this is your last Taco Tuesday, might as well make a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she was like, I want to do it publicly, and he's like, well, we always have Taco Tuesday dinner where we're all together. Right. So yeah, like, he really helps, like, you know, push her along. But the thing is, she's telling everyone. First off, Chrissy can't stop talking. No. But so she wants to tell everyone her plan. She doesn't like wait to do it. She's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this. And so the upside for Nick in that is that he's hearing this.
Yes, he knows. We see him in the DR.
Literally overhearing. Yeah. But he's But he's also hearing from people. You know, like, this is what she's gonna use against you. So he's actually taking that time to then go, okay, so now I'm gonna have a conversation with Tommy. Now I'm gonna have a conversation with Cliff. Like, he's covering his basic.
Cutting her off.
Exactly. And like, okay, so now you knew that about me. Like, that wasn't a secret, whatever. Right. We could have just left it at that.
But no.
But no.
No. Nick is actually the one who gets this going, right? We see him in the diary room, and he's like, Chrissy's gonna blow up my game. I can't believe this. I'm so sick of these people trying to burn me. And he kind of works himself up so much that he's like, forget it. I'm going now. He storms out of the diary room, storms up the stairs to the HOH room, like, bangs open the door, and it's like in her face. Yeah. And she's like, oh, do you want to go downstairs and do this? Like, let's do it in front of everybody. He
flung that door open and said, you want to keep my name out of your mouth? Yeah. Okay. That's definitely how you start something. Yeah.
So Christy's like,
yep, let's make it
let me
public.
grab my mug, let's go downstairs. And Jackson's like scrambling to like grab all his stuff and like follow him downstairs.
He's like, let's go. Yes. And they do. They have a blow up. Taco Tuesday is now a thing that will live on forever. Yes. Where he comes at her just angry, which she's like, great, because I got things to say. Right. And honestly, I don't think anybody looks good in this.
But Christy looks way better than she would have had Nick not come at her guns blazing, like screaming at her, because he's just kind of being mean, and he's like, why don't you manifest the truth, like throwing her own words in her face, and that just makes you look kind of mean. I don't know, it just was not a good look for him. Yeah,
he was worked up.
Yeah.
And I mean, she wasn't nice.
But like, she gets to be like, whoa, Nick,
exactly.
like, you are overreacting, and she gets to be the calm one while he's blowing up.
They edited it that way.
Yeah, right.
But she was not calm for most of it. But yeah, he then walks off, and she gets to go, I wasn't gonna do it. I had said I wasn't gonna do it. And he did it. I wasn't gonna do it. So she can like kind of wipe her hands of it.
And even if she wasn't calm, like she can say like it looks to other people like, well, Nick was coming at her hard, so she's just kind of responding accordingly, you know, like it wasn't like she came at him and tried to blow up his game out of nowhere.
Right.
She was just giving back what she was given.
I think they're equally to blame because she had already started it.
Sure.
But then if he had not blown up like that, I think things might have gone down differently.
And my biggest problem with the whole thing is Christy's like, well, Nick, like, you've set up relationships in the house where if you won the next HOH, I bet every single person in this house feels safe, which is a great argument to make because it's true. They like cut to everybody and they're like, yeah, I would feel safe. Yeah, And Christy's like, so who's your target? Who would you put up? And Nick is just too much on the defense. And he's like, why do I have to explain myself? Well, nobody else is answering this. Why do I have to answer this?
Well, that's true.
If I were Nick, I would have said, Christy, you're my target. And if anybody else goes up on the block, they're a pawn to get you out. That's all you have to say.
Yes. And that's exactly what Christy said.
Yeah.
Which is the right answer. I mean, I agree. Why should you have to answer that? She put you on the spot in front of everyone, but because you started it.
Yeah.
So yeah, zip it and be like, no, I'm not going to answer that. Go walk away. But then he goes and pouts and he's like, it's such a petty cast out. Why would she say it? Why should I got to answer it? Why should I do that? God. And it's like, if you had not let this blow up, again, a blow up for us, great.
Great.
But for your actual game, if you had let her just look like emotionally unstable, trying to anything, her back's against the wall, just try, and just let her do that, he might have had a shot. But his game is already.
Oh, it's blown. Yes, he could have very easily been like, Christy, like, listen, we all see what you're doing. Like, your back's against the wall, but, like, you're going home this week. Like, he didn't have to come at her so hard.
And technically, he was on her side, even though she was, like, on his list.
Yeah.
He was on her side, so, like, he could have been like, this is such a shame.
Yeah,
I was with you.
Yes.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But, okay.
You're desperate.
Yeah, he could have. He didn't.
He didn't.
Here's what they didn't show in the episode that I think was really important in Taco Tuesday is after the dust sort of settles and Nick walks off and Christy's like, I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it.
Right.
Jess goes, well, if he's in final two, he gets my vote. And he's like, I mean, he just, look. He's gonna win.
Talk about a nail in the coffin of Nick's game.
I was floored. Like, she really did. She was like, are we clear? Are we clear?
Yeah.
Nick's gotta go.
Yeah, right. Because if he's there, I'm voting for him.
So impressed that she said that.
Yeah, that was a great move.
She doesn't want to vote for him, guys. She hates him.
No.
This is a very smart move.
Strategy.
Okay.
Hello.
Making that clear.
So after Taco Tuesday, where do we go?
Well, we go pretty quick to the eviction. So we now see the votes, and as expected from the flip, the only vote to evict Christy is Nick.
Yes.
Because once Jackson decided that he wanted to keep Christy, he goes to Cliff. He says, remember, you're going to vote the way I want you to.
Remember the deal we made.
I want it to save Christy and evict Sis. And Cliff's like, okay, so let's go to Nicole. We get Nicole on board. Then eventually Jackson gives Nick a heads up that if it's a tie, he will break it in favor of keeping Christy. So then that means the house knows which way the HOH wants. Tommy then says, I will vote with the house. So Nick is the only one who's like, I can't vote.
Right.
To evict Sis. Not happening.
Right. But it really all started with the one segment we did see before the votes were cast was Holly and Jackson in bed. And she's like, So do you want to talk about that? And she just kind of, all week she's been in his ear saying like, you know, I'm really nervous about Nick, and ooh, like, do we really want to get rid of Christy? And she's like, listen, sis is in Nick's army. Like, sis is going to have Nick's back, like me. So it really is like the persistence of Holly saying over and over again, like, are we sure we want to get rid of Christy? And then Jackson decides that he's going to change course, and he rallies the troops. So it's really Jackson's fault that Christy did not go out the door.
Yeah, and we should, while we're talking about this, because Christy's obviously going to get a lot of credit for flipping this vote. She was dead man walking.
Yes.
But Holly gets part of this credit because she really has been in Jackson's ear from the moment he won HOH. She wanted Nick gone. She was being supportive of his thing, but she was always like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so days of that, plus Christy's campaigning, Jackson was just worn down and all of a sudden forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also say that in Sis's campaign, she did not promise Jackson, like, any sort of safety.
Yeah.
She didn't know she should do that.
Right.
She told Holly, I would never put you up. And then Holly's like, but she didn't say Jackson's name. So that's one of those typical HOH-itis things.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of lose sight.
Yep.
You've been preaching about your target this whole time.
Yep.
So people behave one way, and then you're like, wait, that person's not telling me they have my back?
Right. Well, she thought she was safe.
I know she's got Nick's back. So all of a sudden, Nick's a thing. He wasn't a thing before, but now he's a thing that I have to think of. And it makes you forget your target.
Right. And they kept talking about, like, we should keep Christy so that she can take the shot at Nick. And I'm like, you people, and what is it with you and trying to keep people so they can take a shot? Nick's game has been blown up, okay? Christy did what she needed to do, and Nick's game is over. Why don't you stay and take the shot? You can get rid of Christy, and then you get to take the credit for getting rid of Nick. Yeah, Christy blew up his game, but you're the one who got him out. Why do you need to keep Christy to take that shot? It's so silly to me.
There was a reason that Christy was your target.
Yeah.
And honestly, Christy staying and losing Sis is interesting for the game. Like, I'm
Sis A-okay.
Sis was the perfect goat for Tommy. Like, this really messes up Tommy's game.
And Nick, right?
And Nick's game. 100%. So I am on board for seeing how Tommy pivots, because I think he's had the best game so far. How does he pivot to make this work for him? Great, I'm on board for that. But the people that this actually hurts the most is Jackson. And probably Holly, but mostly Jackson. So that's where it's like you really lost sight of why she was your target and how you cannot trust her. She has proven that she does not have your back, Jackson. And what happens when Nick's gone? She's still your target. So you could have evicted her and still gone after Nick, no big deal. But
you didn't.
You didn't. You changed your mind. Here we are. You are not winning, Jackson.
No,
this
sorry.
will take you down.
Yeah, sorry.
This will be the moment.
I'm getting like serious Vanessa vibes from Christy flipping this vote. Like, Vanessa did a similar thing when she was on the block her season and saved herself. I don't think we've talked about this. Like, we don't think Christy is necessarily the strategic mastermind that Vanessa was, because Vanessa controlled literally every week, and Christy hasn't done that quite as much. But like,
close.
This is a major move to flip the vote when she is like #1 target in the house.
Absolutely. So this is points for Christy, less points for Jackson. I think that he will look back on this as a dangerous moment in his game and regret this. But then Julie tells us we're pranking this week.
It's prank week. Yes. So they show this segment of like bird noises. They just cannot leave Nicole alone with the birds.
Oh my God.
And they are getting woken up in the middle of the night with these bird sounds that they have to memorize what kind of bird it goes with or whatever it is. It doesn't matter.
So funny that it is not for the HOH competition. They go full on with the prank. They have them set up. Like question and answer about these bird
And
things.
it's all like their little blocks look like nests. Like, it's all very bird themed. And Julie's like, so that had nothing to do with this HOH competition. It's prank week.
Walls open, turn around. Whole
new setup.
Thing.
Genius. Like,
that was pretty funny.
It was great.
So now we have HOH competition, which is the strangest crapshoot I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
The board gets skinny. Yeah. I'm like, who's gonna, what? This is weird. Right. Holly's first, and she just nails it.
Gets a 50. I don't think I've ever seen that. A perfect score.
No.
Like,
well, I haven't seen this skinny one. I don't know if I've missed it.
They've played similar things where it like drops off into the score, but she just, right off the bat, she gets a 50. And guess what? She wins HOH.
Yeah, no one even, everyone else is like, blah,
yeah, blah, right.
Blah, as you would expect.
The additional wrinkle in this competition is that the two lowest scorers will get a punishment.
Yeah.
Some sort of prank week thing.
Yeah.
And then they are alerted by Julie in advance that whoever wins HOH will be pranked. Does she say by America?
Eventually she does. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the order, but then we learn that we get to vote, and our vote is for a prankster.
Yes.
Who will split her HOH with her.
Right, who will secretly name a second nom.
And then if that nominee comes down, they still get to do the renom. Like, this is a pretty interesting twist.
Holly fully only has control over 50% of this week. And who knows, like, when, we're sort of curious about the timing, right? We don't know when noms are going to go, because normally noms are going to be named tomorrow, but like that gives a very limited voting window to,
are we only voting tonight? We went to the episode, drove here in our filming, so we don't have all those details. I'm sure after this video goes up, we will research that. Yes. But so we might only have tonight to vote. And it's interesting because, like, Holly's in a position where obviously Nick is the target right now because of all of this work that Christy's done.
Right.
And also Christy said, like, use me however you need. Like, put me up as a pawn or whatever. So I imagine that ideally she wants to put Nick and Christy up for Nick to go. I don't know who we would pick as the prankster who would do anything differently, or like do we even want to do anything differently?
The only way I think that anyone will make it interesting is if it's Nick, really. Not that I want Nick to be the prankster, but if you want any kind of like twist,
to like battle it out,
it's got to be Holly's target, because I think Holly's kind of fine-ish with everybody else in the house, like.
Right, and if you're rooting for like the Cliff and Nicole's of it all, like they're fine right now. So do we really want to vote? Like, I think a lot of people would love to vote Cliff as the prankster, but he's gonna just be like, he would probably not make it secret. He would be like, hey Holly, I got the prankster.
Sure,
so who should we do as a pawn to make Nick go home? Like, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be interesting because it's a secret thing. Like, depending on who the prankster is, like, what if they put up Jackson and Jackson went home on Holly's HOH? Like, how crazy would that be?
Yeah.
And it would be pretty smart, because they're a duo that the house needs to break up at some point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we did vote for either Nick or maybe even Tommy, if it is secret, like, Tommy might take advantage of it being secret and putting Jackson up without anyone knowing it was him.
Yep, no blood on his hands.
He might do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any, like, strong feelings on this.
Yeah.
Other than I'd love to give Nicole something just to be like, hey,
give her something
we love
to do.
You.
Yes.
But also, this is not a good time for her to show her cards. So, like, wait till she wins HOH.
Yeah, but she doesn't. The thing is, like, she doesn't have to show her cards. It's, you know, because
no,
it's secret.
Don't do it.
So,
well, that's true.
So it's sort of a good power to give her something to do. But yeah, I don't really.
But what is she gonna do? Battle it with Nick?
Yeah, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other who gets this.
She might.
It's complicated.
Might not want to get rid of Nick. I mean, I would be interested to see if the house just sort of folds and is like, okay, Nick can go.
Yeah.
Or if, like, Cliff and Nicole try to rally some votes. Like, Tommy and Nick are really close. Like, Tommy could be invested in keeping Nick.
Yeah, they're in love.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see how this week, if people fight to keep Nick or not.
Yeah.
I'm okay if Nick goes.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay if Nick stays. He's disruptive, but he's not great at the game. So either way.
Yeah, really, I just want Jackson or Christy to go.
David was disappointed we didn't get to see Christy.
I was so sad, but I have to say that was such a fun experience to go to.
Right? Wasn't it fun?
Julie is a consummate professional. She was like feeling a little bit under the weather, and I could kind of hear it in her voice. Like,
a little scratchy.
She like said something during a commercial break about, like, I don't know if you can tell, and people were like, you sound great, and I was like, you actually do sound sick, but I'm not gonna like tell you that you sound sick. Like, I'm not gonna be rude, but. She was like saving her voice, but she just is like so on it all the time. You know, it was fun to watch her live.
Yeah, she is really fun to watch just because she like literally just walks out, says her lines, and walks away.
Walks away.
Like, she's not on the whole time. She's just in and out.
In and out.
And there's like a warm-up type guy who like comes out as well and talks to us and is like, "What'd you think about that?"
Yeah, who do you think is gonna win? Who's your favorite? Like things like this.
Oh, what was interesting is before it started, they were like, "Who do you think? Not who you want. Who do you think is gonna win the game?"
Yeah.
And some people got no applause.
No.
Like
Jackson got none.
They said Jackson. No one said.
Nick got none.
None. Tommy got the most.
Yeah. Christy, nobody really clapped for, but we did. Because everybody thought she was going out the door.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Do you think Christy could win?" And we were like, "She could. Like, she could still win."
Yeah.
You know.
And they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And we were like, "She's not being evicted."
Right. Yeah.
What else happened in our experience?
Let's see. Well, we saw the Sis interview live, which was about as thrilling as I'm sure it was on TV. It wasn't the best eviction interview.
And we got to stay for the extended interview afterwards.
Yeah.
They kept the audience in, and that was also not that exciting.
Fine. Yeah, it was. My favorite part was getting to see the goodbye messages because they don't show those in the show anymore. They just show them in the extended interviews.
Exactly. And I thought it was interesting. Both Cliff and Nicole made it clear in their messages of like, if you're seeing this, then Jackson decided this is the way it's gonna go. Like they definitely put the blame on him for this.
Yeah. There was a cute moment where after the interview was done, they're like, Julie and Sis are taking pictures together, and Sis is like, "I haven't seen a phone in so long."
Yeah.
And we all had a laugh about
like
that.
Julie, like she's like, Sis is like, "Oh my god, a phone."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
They
tell us, to be respectful and to cheer when they come out. Obviously, I'm not gonna boo Sis.
Right.
But so we're all like cheering, but
we did not get to see in the doors. We were like in seats where we couldn't see inside to see the rest of the house guests.
Yeah, we couldn't. Yeah. But it's so cool to just be like, "Oh my god, the door's right there."
Yes.
It's like they're right behind
they're literally
the wall.
on the other side.
Yeah.
And I was like, when we were watching, because the screen is on one side where we're watching the episode, and when they were giving their eviction speeches, I was like, I'm watching here, but like literally behind that wall, they're standing up and giving their eviction speeches.
Yeah.
It was so cool to be that close.
Yes. And they said, make sure, obviously if she's going to jury, do not say anything, do not, yell any. I was like, I'm going to yell out the Tommy and Chrissy know each other.
Yes, right.
But I didn't.
Yes. And it was great too to see, you probably noticed when you watched the episode that the audience groaned when Holly voted to evict Sis, and you could see that Holly heard that.
Yes.
And I was like, did she hear us? And Sarah's like, yeah, she heard us. Like,
and it was literally the people in front of us who were not up to date. They did not know what was happening. I had already been like, you guys, watch the feeds. Like, I'm telling you. I'm like trying to give people warning, but they didn't get it. And when she did that vote, the girl in front of me was like,
yeah.
And then you see Holly saying, and then someone was like, shh. And I don't know if it was the guy who worked there or if it was another audience member, but it was like right where we were. And I was like, because that's the kind of stuff that Holly will like, it will fester in her head and be like, what? They gasped. They were like, what?
Yeah.
When I voted to the,
And even I kind of blew it when they were doing the goodbye messages, and Tommy came on and he had tears streaming down his face. And I literally was like,
we both,
okay. And I like made an audible noise, and Sarah was like, you're not supposed to make any noises. But I just couldn't help myself because I'm like, eye roll, like you're not that sad.
His timing of crying is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Wait, did we talk about the Baywatch? Oh my
god.
Gosh. Baywatch,
oh my god.
Another perfectly edited moment.
Yes.
But it made me think, like, remember when Jack was first put on the block and Tommy ran into the room and cried? Like, he was devastated. Christy's fate is sealed on the block, and he goes and he plays Baywatch. I mean, I just thought, I was like, that kind of says something.
Yes, it was like right after the veto competition.
Yeah.
And he and Holly are like this, and Christy storms upstairs. She has no time for these fun and games. And really what she's upset about is that Tommy has done the work to repair the relationship with Jackson and Holly, and that's why he's not on the block, and you didn't, and that's why you are. But it's just so great to see her have this meltdown. And this is kind of the moment where Tommy's like, you gotta go. Like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, Tommy legitimately, like, prepared himself to lose. He kept calling her emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
Like, while she was campaigning to stay, he was campaigning for Sis to stay. And he was like, I don't like what Christy did with Taco Tuesday.
Right.
She's emotionally unstable. It is her time to go.
Yeah.
And I think that part of it's for show, but also I think he inside was like, Sis is my perfect final two.
Yes.
Christy, I don't know what she's gonna do. She is out of her mind.
I just keep waiting for Tommy to be like, God, thank God Christy is gone. Like, I need Christy. I hate Christy. Like, I just had to pretend to like her because I knew her.
Like, I walked in the house and all of a sudden
and there she is. But like, she screwed over my aunt years ago. I hate that girl. You know, I'm just waiting for him to be like, thank God she's gone. I can't stand her. But he can't do that as long as he is in the house because she will have his back, you know?
Yeah, and she can't, he can't evict her. He can't do any of that. But he thought he was there. He thought he had it. And now she's in the house.
Yeah. So
and his perfect final two is not.
Yeah.
So he does have to pivot.
He's got to pivot. But I'm sure he will. He's playing a good game. Great game.
Because guess what? She's more loyal to him than you, Jackson.
Yeah.
You in trouble, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys, what did you think about this week? It was so exciting.
So fun.
If you did not find this exciting,
I know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know why you're watching Big
And now, like, the prank week thing, how do you think that's going to play out? What are your plans for your votes?
I hope it's just not ridiculous. I hope it's fun.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Let us know what you think.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.